Bro one.
Me a talk about Jeezy Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jaxson Bryan and Randy Savage. Me a talk about Jeezy Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jaxson Bryan and Randy Savage. Me a talk about Jeezy Sports.
Hey. Welcome early, late, I don't know. This is your boy Jackson. As I said, on Sunday we were gonna do a bit more sports, more options, midnight madness in a way. We're gonna talk. It's gonna be it's not gonna be a long show, but we're gonna still talk, some MLB contracts throwing around. Who's getting 200 million? Some NFL action. Wildcard weekend is coming up. The NBA. Well, we know the NBA is in full swing. Who the favorites? Who's hot? Who's not? It all matters. But firstly, it's not something I usually talk about, but Georgia have won the college football championships, and I'm not going to mention one word about them. But what the hell was TCU doing? I mean, come on, man. Come on, bro. TCU were absolutely horrific during that game, and it's sad. It's really sad. They had a fantastic run. They took out some of the heavy hitters, and I mean, they were shit, to be completely honest. They were absolutely rubbish in that game. It was 10-7. You thought, hey, can make a game of this. Everyone who's put some good money on this game say, yeah, we're going to have a game of this. We were not going to have a game of this. And it was more of a reality check, Their Cinderella story ended up without finding the chick with the glass shoe. They just didn't look for that. They just didn't look for her. It was Georgia being, and kid the pun, it's not a pun, but Georgia being the bulldog. They were the big dog in that game. They purely deserved to win. Kirby Smart, good coach, back-to-back titles for him. Happy for him. But yeah, it's not something I really speak about, but I had to touch on it because, oh my word, I mean, there are a lot of people on the TCU bandwagon and the wheels just fell off of that before it even came to the starting line, man. It was just awful. But let's talk about the big boys now. Instead of college, talk about the NFL. Week 18 just finished. Some games went on Saturday. That was a week on the 7th and the 8th. Kansas City, number 1 in the AFC. I don't think we saw that any different. I mean, maybe I saw Buffalo having more wins, but I always thought Kansas City was going to be the number 1 seed going through. I thought Buffalo had a tougher run-in for majority of the games, not to mention Josh Allen's injuries during the season. That's basically how they lost the games they did. It was his injuries or just one bad moment. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes leading his Kansas City Chiefs as per usual. I don't hear Tyreek Hill anywhere. He's so lucky. I don't want to talk about much of the Dolphins now. It's just begun. But yeah, Jacksonville as well. They beat the Titans on Saturday evening. Fantastic result for them. They're into the playoffs from I don't want to say from worst to first, but from literally the bottom of the barrel, from not even the bottom of the barrel, from the dirt under the bottom of the barrel to now they're in the playoffs, and they're gonna have a game of it. They're really, really gonna be having a game of it. They're gonna be playing the Chargers, and that's it's the best and the worst they could have asked for in the playoffs. Yeah, the Chargers aren't massively favorites, are one of those massive teams who who are gonna be Super Bowl contenders, but they got fucking Justin Herbert, man. Oh my word! I mean, you don't really stand a chance when he's on the other side. I mean, Kansas City, they have a first round bye, so we know how that is. As number one, you get privileges. But Jacksonville are gonna get an absolute baptism. I mean, they can still carry on this run, but they're gonna get an absolute baptism if Herbert finds his rhythm early. On to other games. On Sunday, more traditional NFL day. Let's start with Sunday night. The Lions beat the Packers, and I just have to say, I don't care what anyone is saying about Aaron Rodgers. He's the GOAT. He's not at fault for anything that happened on Sunday night. I mean, there are at least two plays that I can speak about that there was nothing he could do. I mean, when Aiden Hutchinson sacked him from behind, I don't remember the offensive lineman's name, but he was up against the number 73 from Green Bay, the right tackle. And for some reason, the right guard, number 76, came about and just gave him a shove in the back that pushed him around the guard. And he just had a free run at Rodgers. There's nothing Rodgers could do there. The interception late in the game, he had no I don't remember if it was AJ Dillon or Aaron Jones who was in the game, but if one of them stayed back, blitz would have been picked up. He wouldn't have taken the option. He just got rid of the ball. He just had to get rid of the ball, and that's what happened. And Quay Walker, I mean, I don't want people to even try to defend him, but he is the main reason that Green Bay lost that game, because he was electric. He was the best player on the defensive side for either team. And this clown goes and shoves the physio for the Lions, gets ejected, costs his team on a crucial drive. That's stupidity, and that's the reason that Aaron's been talking about the team how he has. That these rookies don't know what it means to be players of such an organization, or to be players to win. Look, I mean, come on. Quay Walker is playing the role that Clay Matthews used to. If you all know who Clay Matthews is, then you know that's a hard fucking role to keep up. And Quay was doing it Sunday night until he did that shit. So yeah, people saying, should Rodgers stay, or Rodgers should go, he's too old for them and the Packers should move on. This guy was MVP back-to-back seasons, and I'm guaranteeing you, if they had beaten the Lions and won on wildcard weekend, he would have won MVP for a third straight year. Because he took them from 4-8, a 6% chance to make the playoffs, to the play. I mean, what other QB can you put in that category? What other? I mean, He averaged, I think I saw the stat, 217 passing yards per game. And that was his lowest in 15 years. Yeah, that's a bit of a drop-off. There are some QBs now averaging close and around that. And people are saying they're going to be great. But this guy is washed up. I mean, come on, man. They lost out their position to the Seahawks. They beat the Rams. I've always said it. The Rams, great team. Really good team last season. Yes, they lost Odell, Stafford injuries, Cup injuries, even Aaron Donald missing games. I said it. They never got a chance to defend their title. I saw everybody putting up favorites before the season started. Who said Philly, Tampa, who said Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and no one had the Rams. And I was like, hang on a minute. The Rams have lost a couple free agents, and yes, they don't have draft capital, but they still got Cooper Kupp, the best wide receiver in the NFL. And Stafford, I don't think Stafford is a QB that's inconsistent. I've watched him all this time in the Lions in Detroit. He's never been an inconsistent guy. He's been a steady Eddie, but not inconsistent. And people just wrote them off. I mean, when the season started, they didn't start particularly well. Then they found their groove, and then Cup got injured, and then Stafford got injured, and they just didn't get a chance. They didn't get a chance to defend their title. Like, no one, apart from the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, they didn't have a full fit squad for the rest of the year. And they ended the season no Aaron Donald, no Matthew Stafford, no Cooper Kupp. I don't even think Jefferson was playing. So that's a problem. They didn't get a chance. But I think next year, will they be a different beast? Bro, they're all getting a year older. They still don't have draft capital. It's gonna be a really, really tough time for them next season. Because it's not gonna get any better for now until they can get into the draft. San Francisco, Brock Purdy, the Purdy show, the Purdy programming. It's continuing. They're still living on that flame. They're the favorites to come out of the NFC, actually, San Francisco. They beat the Cardinals, who later sacked Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler didn't have such a good season after getting paid. Hopkins was out for majority of the season. They came back. Didn't really impact the team how we used to. J.J. Watt's retired, and we must say hats off to a great career for him. The Cardinals were just not up for it. They're one of about 10,000 teams in for Sean Payton now, as they need a head coach. He's a man in demand, isn't he? But he's not going to make a decision. I don't want to talk about Payton yet, but he's not going to make a decision yet. Not while Dallas is still in the playoffs. And I'm not going to talk about Dallas now. I'm actually going to go to the other part of the NFC, Philly. Top the division. Only barely, but their QB shoulder's kind of gone. Jalen Hurts. Micah Parsons said it. Are you going to beat Jalen or are you going to beat the Eagles? Because the Eagles are easy to beat. And that's true, because when there was no Jalen Hurts, they were rubbish. Which, it's true. I don't think they got the first round bye, but their first game they're gonna get knocked. I'm telling you, they're going home. Their first game they're gonna get knocked out immediately. No matter who they get, they're out. I already know. I've seen teams like Philly before. They star up the regular season. They look like they could go somewhere. They're a team where you quote unquote can't find flaws, but as soon as the playoff starts, whoops, there it goes. There goes the team. I've seen it before. I've seen it with the Giants. I've seen it with Atlanta. I've seen it with Dallas. I've seen it with Pittsburgh. I've seen it too many times, man. I've seen it too many times to even believe that Philly has a chance of anything. If Philly make it to the Super Bowl, they're gonna get creamed. If they make it to the Super Bowl and win, then I just got it wrong. But they're not that team. They're not that team. And the Giants, with Danny Dimes leading them out into the playoffs now. The Giants, I don't know what to say more about the Giants. They're going to play Minnesota, so basically they're in the next round because Minnesota is rubbish. They beat the Bears, but the Bears are rubbish. I think that the Giants have a better chance in the playoffs than Philly. And that's a big statement. The Giants finished third in the division. Keep in mind, all 4 teams could have made it if Washington could have kept a good run-up at the end. But the Giants have a better chance. Because when the Giants beat the Vikings, then I think they're going to be playing the winner of the San Francisco-Seattle game. So, by betting odds, San Francisco against the Giants in the divisional game, and then that's a great opportunity for them to make the Super Bowl, to make the championship game. And believe me, to make the championship game like that, Brian Daboll, who no one knew about before the season begun, that would be brilliant. Coach of the Year, where's the nominees? Where are the nominees, man? Where are the nominees? But, man, the Giants are really good. And it pains me to say it. Cincinnati Bengals beat the Ravens in their final game. The Ravens are rubbish. I don't care what no one wants to say. The Ravens are rubbish no matter who is playing, whether it's Lamar Jackson or some unknown scrub. The Ravens are rubbish. Lamar is rubbish. Yes, I said it.